Let's talk about a crisis you might not see in your daily news feed, but one that's quietly shaking the global economy: the war in Sudan. Sudan's civil war exploded in April 2023, pitting the Sudanese armed forces against the Rapid Support Forces. It's brutal, chaotic, and far from over. More than 2 years later, peace talks haven't even started. Violence rages on, fueled by outside countries shipping in weapons and cash. But this isn't just a local tragedy. It's a domino effect that's spreading across continents. Here's how. First, the sheer scale. Over 12 million people have fled their homes, making Sudan the world's largest displacement crisis. The numbers are staggering. 7.7 million displaced inside the country, over 4 million forced into neighboring nations like Egypt, Chad, and South Sudan. That means more than half of Sudan's population now needs humanitarian aid. Think about that. 30 million people, more than the population of Australia, depending on food, water, and shelter from overstretched international agencies. And it gets worse. Famine is now a reality in parts of Sudan, with more than 24 million people facing severe food shortages and over 600,000 living in famine conditions. Hospitals? Decimated. 8 out of 10 in the war zones are shut down. Cholera is running rampant, killing thousands. The most vulnerable are suffering most. Women and children make up the majority of the displaced. Millions of girls are growing up in camps, schools have collapsed, and malnutrition has killed over 500,000 infants since the war began. Now let's zoom out. Sudan is a major trade hub in East Africa. The war has shredded regional supply chains, especially for food and livestock. Neighboring economies are feeling the squeeze. Higher food prices, lost jobs, and millions of new refugees needing housing, healthcare, and education. Countries like Egypt and Chad are overwhelmed. Tensions are rising, resources are stretched thin, and humanitarian funds are drying up. International aid isn't keeping up. Donors were already stretched thin, and now, with the crisis growing, countries like the US, UK, and EU are cutting back. Relief efforts are stalling, and aid workers risk their lives every day. Dozens have died trying to help. And here's the kicker. This war isn't just a humanitarian disaster. It's a global economic risk. Instability in Sudan scares off investors and disrupts major agricultural and mining trade routes. That means ripple effects on global food prices and supply chains. And as desperation grows, more people risk dangerous journeys north, adding pressure to migration routes into Europe. So, when you hear about Sudan, don't tune out. This war is bigger than one country's tragedy. It's a crisis that's shaking economies, destabilizing regions, and changing millions of lives, whether the world is watching or not. Stay informed. Share what you know. Because in a connected world, someone else's crisis is never just theirs alone.